What is going on, you guys? Jacobrdoty here, back for another vlog, and today it's gonna be a little different, no driving or anything, but I just want to recap what all happened in 2019 because we've had some amazing growth thanks to you guys. The car's really gone through quite a lot of changes, so I'm gonna use my phone. I actually made a note and made a full list. I went through kind of like the videos from 2019. Definitely been some big changes, and I don't really notice it until you take a step back and kind of reflect on what all happened. It's pretty cool, so let's go into it. I'm gonna read from my phone a little bit and then we'll talk into each of these points. So I started the year in Louisiana, which is where I'm from. I'm from Shreveport, and I was with family and everything. I actually tried last winter, this time, I actually tried to meet up with It's Just a Six. That didn't work out. We started messaging back and forth, schedules just didn't happen, but it was something I was trying to work on. He lives only like 25 minutes away from where I used to live. So I was really close to him, and we couldn't make it happen. But eventually I'm sure we will work together because we're Mustang bros and we're from the same area. We're Louisiana bros as well. But when I came back, there was something new, which was the exhaust law in California. It got changed to where exhaust laws were no longer correctable. So if you got a fine for your exhaust being too loud, it was no longer correctable. You had to go and pay for the full fee or put it back to stock and get state refed, which in California is a huge pain in the butt. Like, you do not want to have to go get state refed. There's so many hoops you have to jump through. California's exhaust laws are pretty dang strict. But throughout the year, this was a huge thing. Like, people were signing petitions, and SEMA was talking about it. SEMA really fought it, so now it's back to correctable. So they fixed that. So that's how we started the year. Everybody was up in arms. People were getting pulled over, getting their cars like California state refed, which is so bad, and SEMA helped fix it. You guys with the petition helped fix it, so that turned out really good. Now, also, I was having some issues with the car, which was something I thought was the drive shaft, but my mistake, it was my lug nuts. Because of that problem, you guys probably know that, but I literally bought a drive shaft and put it in all these parts and had a headache because I didn't tighten my lug nuts. It was making this terrible noise, and I ended up doing a drive shaft out of it. And then I also had an upper control arm. So we put about $1,200 worth of parts in there for no reason, but I wouldn't change it. And it's peace of mind for when I really start pushing the car. I know I have a 900 horsepower drive shaft in there, drive shaft shop, 900 horsepower aluminum drive shaft. So all good to go there. Also got the clutch in there, which is a Mantic twin disc. Now that thing is rated for 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. It's the same one that It's Just a Six has in his S550, although he just went to a triple disc and I have the twin disc. So we basically had the same clutch, and that's gonna be the clutch for the car for a long time because I highly doubt I'm gonna outgrow a twin disc with 1,000 foot-pounds of torque unless something crazy happens, which we're gonna talk about. I just want to pick you guys up so it's a little different of an angle, but let's also talk about how in 2019, I started point of view driving, which is where I put this GoPro on my head, drive around town, and talk about topics that you guys have either messaged me about or that are kind of happening and what's newsworthy within the car culture. So I really want to thank you guys for supporting those. They're really fun to do, and I love reading your comments and then using those as topics for the next videos. If you guys ever have a question or want me to talk about something, leave a comment down below. I read every single one. Even if I don't respond, I'm still reading them, and I kind of put those in the back of my brain and use them for future videos. The important piece of 2019 is we put the carbon fiber steering wheel in here. You guys go freaking crazy for this thing. That is from JATO Performance, JATO Performance.com. You guys can order them down below. They're for 10 through 14s, S550s, SN95 new edges. So there's all kinds of Mustang links. I'll put the link down below. I love that thing. It changes the way the car feels for sure when you're driving it. And I'm pretty sure everyone that has one can attest to that. Really makes a big difference. But you guys love that thing and you still ask me questions about it. But these happened in 2019. It got rid of the Verdes. We went for this style, and I talked about this, so I'm not gonna get too in depth, but they fit perfectly. The car is a little funky right now because it's all the way aired up to be able to get into my driveway. But this is not how I usually drive. Another thing that happened in 2019 that I am super stoked on is I graduated from Sacramento State. In 4 years, I went to community college for 2 and then Sacramento State for 2. So I transferred in as a junior, finished it out, did everything I could to get done in 4 years. I even actually took 21 units one time, and the average full time is 12 units. So I had a petition for that. I worked my butt off. Literally one day or one semester, I had a 6-week class. So that way I could actually finish on time. I had to take a 6-week class, which luckily my buddy took with me, so shout out to you, Sabir. But we took it, and it was Friday from, I think it was 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So it was like a full-time class for 6 weeks, and that's how we got it done, because if not, I wasn't gonna be able to take enough credits So shout out to my buddy for going with me because that would have sucked to do alone. Also in 2019, my buddy Oscar, who also goes to Sacramento State, he has a GT500. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I want to make more videos on that. He's got a few tuning things he wants to work out, but we'll definitely bring some new videos on that. He got a Whipple installed at Paramount Speed. Oh yeah, by the way, Paramount Speed is who did my clutch install too. Perfect, they nailed it. Steve over there, Mike, they're a pleasure to deal with, and I'm sure Oscar can attest to that. He got his Whipple installed there, and that Whipple is pretty dang sick. It made me hungry for more power, that's for sure. So I want to drive that car with the new Whipple. I haven't really. I drove it there when it was just stock with the pulley, but I do want to add some boost. So I finally went to the drag strip. Now this car is the pretty boy car. It's got bags, stretch tires. It's not set up for the track at all, but as it sits on bags and these tires, which are some eBay special Lexanis, I ran a 12.2 at 117. So she was getting it, she was booking it, and that's not too bad for my first ever time. The launch was terrible. I had like a 2-something 60 foot, which is terrible. There's a lot of improvement there. But I think she could literally be a low 11-second car, mid to low 11-second car, if I just did wheels and tires. I really do think if I put a drag pack on there, we could get this thing scooting. A big goal that we hit was, I went to SEMA. Last year, I watched SEMA happen on YouTube and watched it happen on Instagram, and I knew I wanted to get to that point to be able to get there. So whenever I got to SEMA this year, it was like a kid in a candy store. All these brands, everyone was there. I met one of my favorite YouTubers, TJ Hunt, who's an inspiration. It was awesome to go there, and that was a dream come true. It was something I worked for. I mean, every car guy kind of dreams about going to SEMA, and I can't believe I got to go this year. And after SEMA, we've just been having fun driving the NA build, so it's just been flawless. I've been loving it. I mean, everything feels really good. It's really fun to drive on the street, making content for you guys. I don't want to get too wild with it right now, the way it's set up for this setup. I don't want to go too crazy on the NA, like cams, adding a Cobra Jet, twin disc throttle body, new tuning, all that stuff, long tubes, E85. I'm not going to get into that right now as far as this setup goes, but we're going to talk about what's going to come on the Mustang in 2020. The reason why I don't want to go full send NA is because I do want to add boost. And I talked to a few brands over at SEMA, and I'm working on some things for you guys. And one of them might really surprise you because they're not really too popular on the Mustang S197 platform. But I'm working to help fix that and maybe be the guide for them to be able to work into S197s a lot more. So that's something that's coming. I'm really trying to work on that, but everyone's been slammed for the holidays, and that's just how business works. Usually it takes a few months for it to cool down after all those crazy deals start to happen at SEMA. So something else I want to do is change up the look of the car for 2020. I want to wrap the car something unique, and I have a few ideas. I'm gonna keep them a secret for right now, well, because I can't tell you guys all the secrets. But just know in 2020, I'm working on wrapping the car. Here's a hint though, it will not be a solid color. It will have a pattern to it, but I'm trying to do it classy, and yeah, that's all I can say. There's gonna be some cool stuff happening, and it might actually become the whole theme of the channel, which is sort of what I'm thinking. And it's, if you guys know Stradman, he's got the full purple fleet. Think of it something like that. Also, what I wanna do is add more chassis to the channel. So one of my ideas, and I've talked about it a little bit, is a 3-valve drift build. So I want to find like a salvage title or a very cheap 3-valve that I can just strip, cage, get it ready for drifting, and then start to learn how to drift. There's actually like a drift event or something like that, like 40 to 30 minutes away from me. So that's pretty accessible, and if I can learn how to drift, I think that'd be some awesome content on the channel. It'd be really unique because not a lot of people drift American cars. They drift 240s, 350Zs are really popular right now. But I just think bringing the Mustang drift scene together would be pretty cool. The second chassis I'd want to add is a truck. That way I could tow the cars to the drag strip or to drifting, which I'm thinking is either going to be like a F-150 Lightning build, so a 5.0 F-150, one of the newer ones with the Gen 2 Coyote, doing something with like a supercharger and building out an F-150 Lightning. That would be something I want to do. Or if we can, we'll go into a Raptor, which is the Gen 2 Raptor. I just think that would be super awesome, and they're not super high on the towing, but these Mustangs, especially a track car that's gutted like the drift car would be, it would be right there in line with being able to tow a Mustang. I just don't think that would be an issue at all. It might look a little funky and squatty, but it won't be an issue, and we can have multiple uses. And because we'd be adding some chassis, we're gonna be running out of space here at the house. So another goal for 2020 is to actually have a shop that we can customize, put lifts in, maybe work with my buddy Noor or something like that on it. Have a shop to where we can work on our cars and create content and just kind of be like the hotbed for all the content, storage, have tools there. and that way you don't have to work in your home. That is something I definitely want to get. Plus, having a lift would make a huge difference on a lot of these mods. I hate getting down on the ground because I'm 6'2" and it sucks to have to squat and have to be low. Then we can also take on more serious projects as well because we'll have a lift, so it'll just make it a lot easier. Drift build, below the 3 valve, put a Coyote in it. Who knows? That could be something that comes in 2020. I've got a lot more plans as well, but you guys will want to stay tuned to what's to come in 2020. Thank you guys so much for a great 2019. We had so much growth, and we actually just hit 21,000 subscribers. So over 1,000 subscribers here recently because I just hit 20,000. Huge. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.